how are you doing today? I hope that you're doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. Happy Indie Bookstore Day. I am so flipping excited. I love Indie Bookstore Day. I have a haul of 12 books that I just purchased. 13 books that I just purchased for under $50 for all 13 of them. So how might you ask? Well, Libro FM is doing a huge audiobook sale that ends at the end of this weekend. I am so flippin' excited that they're doing a huge independent bookstore day, and a lot of these books, a lot of these cozies I got for like $2.19 or like $3.85, less than what it is for an actual physical paperback copy. So without further ado, let's dive in to my audiobooks that I'm super pumped about getting. The very first one is Buried in a Good Book. This is the first in the By the Book mystery series by Tamara Berry. The cover is flipping adorable. It says, best writing thriller author Tess Harrow is almost at the end of her rope when she arrives with her teenage daughter at her grandfather's rustic cabin in the woods. She hopes this will be a time for them to heal and bond after Tess's recent divorce, but they've barely made it through the door when an explosion shakes the cabin. Suddenly, it's raining fish guts and is that a human arm? Tess was hardly convincing Gertie that a summer without Wi-Fi and running water would be an adventure. Now she's thrust into a murder investigation. Like right now, it is $3.49 for an audiobook. So good, so good. Okay. The next book I got was To Kill a Mockinggirl. This is a bookbinding mystery series, the first one in the series by Harper Kincaid. And it says Queen Victoria Crane is back in her quirky town of Vienna, Virginia, starting her new life as a bookbinder. What a cool job. In her family-owned Charm for Days bookshop Pros and Scones. With her trusty German shepherd, RBG, Ruff Barker Ginsburg, by her side, what can go wrong? Okay, sure, so bumping into her ex, Scott, or her former high school nemesis, Trisha, is a drag. It certainly doesn't help that they've acquired a new hobby of shoving their recent engagement in her face every chance they get. But that doesn't mean Quinn wanted to find Trisha dead in the road, so why does half the town think that she might have done it? It's a good question. The next one I got is A Spell for Trouble. This is an Enchanted Bay mystery series by Esme Addison. The covers are just so pretty. Alexandra Daniel hasn't set foot in the quiet seaside town of Bellamy Bay, North Carolina in over 20 years. Ever since her mother's tragic death, her father has mysteriously forbidden her from visiting her aunts and cousin. But on a whim, Alex accepts an invitation to visit her estranged relatives and to help them in their family business, an herbal apothecary known for its remarkably potent teas, salves, and folk remedies. Bellamy Bay does not look like trouble, but this is a town that harbors dark secrets. Alex discovers that her own family is at the center of a salacious town gossip and that they are rumored to be magical healers descended from mermaids. Mermaids. Come on, guys. Come on. Okay. The next book I got, I own physically, but I've owned it physically for so long, but I haven't picked it up, but I want to. So I got it on audiobook. Listen, I have issues. We've discussed this, right? Okay, so it's Grounds for Murder by Tara Lush, and it is the first in the Coffee Lovers mystery series, which how could I not want it? Speaking of that, I'm probably gonna have a cup of coffee. Do I need another cup of coffee? Guys, should I have another cup of coffee? Both the boys are down for a nap right now. This never happens. Okay, focus. Courtney, focus. All right. when Lana Lewis's best and most difficult employee abruptly quits and goes to work for the competition just days before the Sunshine State Barista Championship, her cafe's chances of winning the contest are creamed. In front of a gossipy crowd in the small Florida town of Devil's Beach, Lana's normally calm demeanor heats to a boil when she runs into the arrogant Java slinger. Of course, Fabrizio Bellucci has a slick explanation for jumping ship, but when he's found dead the next morning under a palm tree in the alley behind Lana's cafe, she becomes the prime suspect. That looks so good, and I've heard from so many people like how good of a book that is. So super thrilled with that one. The next one I have is How to Book a Murder. This is the first in a Starlit Bookshop mystery series by Cynthia Kuhn. To help save her family's floundering Colorado bookstore, Starlit Bookshop, newly minted PhD Emma Stars agrees to plan a mystery-themed dinner party for her wealthy, well-connected high school classmate, Tabitha Baxter. It's a delightful evening of cocktails and conjecture until Tabitha's husband, Tip, hosting the affair in the guise of Edgar Allan Poe's Detective C. Augustus Dupin, winds up murdered. Okay, that just sounds absolutely amazing and fantastic. Oh, guys, I'm so excited for this book haul. You have no idea how much I'm going to binge listen to all of these books. Okay, next one I have is Steeped to Death. This is a Witch's Brew mystery series, the first one by Gretchen Rue. The covers on these books are just so freaking gorgeous. So Phoebe Winchester's beloved Aunt Eudora has a taste for adventure and a knack for making magical tea. It's even rumored that she might just be a witch. So when Eudora passes away and leaves everything to her niece, her Victorian mansion, her bookshop tea store, the Earl's study, and one very chubby orange cap named Bob, Phoebe gets more than she's bargained for. And she knows she's in deep when a dead man is found on the shop's back step, apparently killed while trying to break in. Ooh. I love that it has a tubby orange cap. That is amazing. Okay, we have Little Bookshop of Murder, like Little Shop of Horrors. This is the first book in the Beach Reads mystery series by Maggie Blackburn. Summer Merriweather's career as a Shakespeare professor hangs by a bookbinder's thread. Academic life at her Virginia University is a viper's pit. So Summer spends her summer in England researching a scholarly paper that, with any luck, will finally get her published, impress the dean, and save her job. But her English idyll ends when her mother, Hildy, shuffles off her mortal coil from an apparent heart attack. Returning to Bridget's Island, North Carolina for the funeral, Summer is impatient to settle the estate, sell her mom's embarrassingly romance-themed bookstore, Beach Reads, and go home. But as she drops by Beach Reads, Summer finds threatening notes addressed to Hildy. Sell the bookstore or die. Clearly, something is rotten on Bridget's Island. What is the method behind the madness? Was Hildy murdered? Good questions all around. We have Booked for Death. Booked for Death is by one of my absolute favorite authors. This is the first in the Book Lovers B&B mystery series by Victoria Gilbert. Nestled in the historic waterfront town of Beaufort, North Carolina, Chapter's Bed and Breakfast is a reader's paradise. Built in 1770, the newly renovated inn hosts a roster of special events celebrating books, genres, and authors. It's the perfect literary retreat until a rare book dealer turns up dead in the carriage house during a celebration of the Golden Age mystery author Josephine Tay. The victim's daughter points at the finger at a 42-year-old widow and former school teacher Charlotte Reed, who inherited the B&B from her great aunt Isabella. The next one I also own, it's on my TBR over there. I also own physically, but audiobook, and it's called Photo Finished by Christian Breacher, and it's a snapshot of NYC mystery series. While some people escape into books or music, Liv Spires escapes through her camera's lens, which inspires her to jump into things she might otherwise have no business tackling, like moving to New York City. Hustling to make her dreams come true as a portrait photographer, she runs a pocket-sized studio below her grandparents' West Village brownstone and key shop, where she also lives and works part-time. All of which still has her down to the end of her savings as the holidays approach. Everything changes in a flash, however, when elite events photographer Regina Montague invites Liv to shoot with her at New York City's most exclusive socialite event of the year, the Holiday Debutante Ball. Liv snaps at the opportunity, convinced that a job with Regina will launch her career. But when her fabulous new gig ends with the murder of billionaire Charlie Archibald and Regina framed for the crime, her job may never get developed. I like that it's like a small town, but in New York City kind of vibe. I like that a lot. Okay, the next one I have is Up to No Gouda. This is the first in the grilled cheese mystery series by Linda Riley. Back in Balsam Dell to heal after the death of her husband, Carly Hale is finally pursuing her lifelong dream, opening Carly's grilled cheese eatery. After only 5 months, business is booming as Vermont vacationers and townspeople alike flock to lunch on her party Havartis and other grilled cheese concoctions. That is everyone but Lyle Bagley, her one-time high school boyfriend, who's now the town bully. And he's just bought the building that houses her eatery and wants her out. After a moonster of a fight, she's forced to put her nose to the rind and find a solution to keep her business afloat. But when Lyle is discovered dead behind the dumpster of Carly's shop, and one of her employees becomes the prime suspect, what's gonna happen? Okay, the last mystery that I got, I also own physically, but audiobook. I got Magic Lies and Deadly Pies by Misha Pop. This is the Pies Before Guys mystery series. The first time Daisy Ellery killed a man with a pie, it was an accident. Now it's her calling. Daisy bakes sweet vengeance into her pastries, and she and her dog, Zoe, deliver to the men who've done dirty deeds to the town's women. But if she can't solve the one crime that's not of her own baking, she'll be out of the pie pan and into the oven. And then last but certainly not least, it's still cozy but not cozy mystery that I'm super excited about. It is Small Town Big Magic, and this is the first in the Witch Lore series by Hazel Beck. And it says there's no such thing as witches, right? Emerson Wilde has built a life of her dreams, youngest chamber of Congress president in St. Cyprian history, successful indie bookstore owner, and lucky enough to have her best friends as found family. Done. But when Emerson is attacked by creatures that shouldn't be real and kills them with what can only be called magic, Emerson finds that the past decade of her life has been a lie. St. Cyprian isn't your average Midwest river town. It's a haven for witches. When Emerson failed a power test years ago, she was stripped of her magical memories. It turns out Emerson's friends are all witches, and so is she. This is such a fun haul. I'm so flipping excited to have all of these books in my Libro FM app, and I can't wait to dive into them. I know that I haven't done like a cozy mystery haul in a really long time. Let me know. What do you guys think about the books that I got? Do you have any of them that you think that I should like push up my TBR list? Because I listen to audiobooks out the wazoo, and I listen at 2 speed. So like I can read an 8-hour audiobook in 4 hours. But I have my Libro FM link down below. You can click on it and go and look at any of the audiobooks there, and you get to choose an indie bookstore that you get to support. So it's like a win-win situation. But that's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.